We'll call to order the joint public meeting of the Glendale City Council and the Glendale Successor Agency. And we have a roll call for the City Council.
Council members: Friedman.
Here.
Lucan. Here. Najarian.
Here.
Weaver. Here. Mayor Quintero.
Here. And the Glendale Successor Agency.
Board members: Friedman.
Here.
Nukian.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Chair Quintero.
Here. And we have your report.
The agenda for the June 26, 2012 joint public meeting of the City Council and the Successor Agency was posted on Thursday, June 21, 2012 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
What's next?
One item on the agenda, the first one is a public hearing, Director of Community Development regarding proposed Lemley Lofts project to be located at 111 East Wilson Avenue and 215 North Maryland Avenue. This is to be taken off calendar. Next item at 2 is Director of Community Development regarding request from Harley Davidson Love Ride Foundation for endorsement of the 29th Annual Love Ride fundraising event. At 2A is a council motion endorsing the event.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council and Successor Agency, once again, we're here before you for the annual Love Ride. We're on year 29 of that, sponsored by Glendale Harley Davidson. The Love Ride is the largest motorcycle event, fundraising event in the United States, and it starts here in Glendale, and it has since 1981. It is a tremendous event for Glendale from an economic development perspective. It brings thousands of visitors and national recognition from the media. In years past, the City Council, both the City Council and the Redevelopment Agency, have supported this event financially and have been a sponsor of that. Unfortunately, with the demise of redevelopment, we're unable to do that, and given our current budget situation, we're also unable to help financially. However, we do what we can within our budget now. We have assigned a person for the team, the Harley-Davidson team, to work within city government and the different departments that have to weigh in on this event. But nonetheless, it is important for the Love Ride to have the City Council's endorsement as they start to promote. And in exchange for that endorsement, they will list us in all of their media. If you have any questions on the mechanics, I can certainly answer those for you. But I am pleased to introduce Oliver Shoku, the founder of the Love Ride and owner of Glendale Harley Davidson. He's here to speak, as well as the honorary grand chairman, Robert Patrick. And so I'll call Oliver, and then he can introduce Mr. Patrick.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks for all your years of support. Thanks again for your support of the Love Ride, 29 years, and we're going on 30 years. Phil mentioned that it's the largest motorcycle fundraising event in the world, but we're also the longest running motorcycle charity event in the world. I mean, there are events like Sturgis have been going on for 80 years, but not as a charity event. So anyway, the Love Ride during its 29 years has contributed to various charities, starting with Muscular Dystrophy Association the last couple of years, Autism Speaks. And one day Robert and I were talking, and he's very passionate about this, and we were talking about beneficiaries and who should be the beneficiary, next beneficiary of the Love Ride. And he suggested, why not doing some for the veterans, for the returning soldiers? And we thought, well, gee, that's really in great need right now, as there'll be millions of, I understand, some 3.2 million veterans that are returning home, and they're all in need of jobs. And I know the city's doing some things in terms of shelters and other respects of helping them, but we thought maybe we'll do our part. And Robert suggested we should contact USO, which he's worked with in the past. And I want to invite him to come out here in a minute and tell us more about that. But and so we contacted the USO with Robert's intro, and they decided to go ahead and accept our invitation to become our beneficiary. So we're officially a USO benefit this year. And Robert, oh, there you are. Robert Patrick. He's not usually bearded like that, but he's playing a role.
I'm a werewolf, currently employed on True Blood, and
I'm having a great time being a werewolf. I apologize for the beard. Mayor, City Council, it's nice to meet you. Oliver just told you we had been thinking of a way to do something for the soldiers, the veterans, and we actually even wanted to combine it and make it the USO, who do not only work for veterans, but they also do it for the current soldiers, active duty, the families. They're very involved at Walter Reed and Bethesda. I think it's one of the finest organizations, charitable organizations, that this country has to offer. And I think it's a huge, huge deal for us as Love Ride, as the event, the largest charitable single motorcycle charity event in the country, to be able to combine with the USO. I've taken several trips as an entertainer for the USO. I've been there in Baghdad. I've been in Afghanistan. I was with Tommy Lasorda, commander of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Mullen. 2009 I was there, and I can tell you personally, being there, boots on the ground with these guys and women, and seeing how they are and see how they react to entertainers that come, because we're essentially taking Main Street to them, and we're breaking up the monotony of what they're doing day in, day out. And I'm really proud to be associated with the USO, and I'm so proud that Oliver really strongly considered them as the beneficiary from the Love Ride this year. It's an amazing organization. Franklin Delano Roosevelt created the USO in World War II. It was a bunch of private organizations that came together and founded the USO, and it's totally a charitable organization. It works completely with the Department of Defense. And I just think it's a huge coup for us to have the Love Ride in Glendale and the USO associated together. And I can speak with my relationships I have with the USO in D.C. They're elated with the possibility of what we can do with this, and are behind it 100% and see it as a great opportunity. And I'm just want to make sure I've covered everything. If you have any questions about the USO or anything, is everybody pretty familiar with it?
You have 5 fans and the staff members. I think everyone is pretty much.
Okay. I just wanted.
Yeah. Mr. Weaver.
Sorry I misled you guys. I thought it was tonight. I know I had read it. I forgot there was a special meeting this afternoon. But it's a great thing. You have 3 veterans sitting up here, 1 Marine, 1 Air Force, and 1 Navy. So we've talked a lot about in recent years doing projects for the veterans in Glendale. So this is right up our alley. So.
Well, and I think that's an interesting thing, too, because I was telling Oliver that, I have Vietnam vet friends that still talk about the day they met Nancy Sinatra and Ann Margaret. And Glendale, you're Hollywood. I mean, we're the entertainment industry, and these guys that are currently deployed right now are going to be talking the same way about the entertainers that they've met, and what a profound effect. Because, thousands of miles away as you were, you know how it is, and you know the impact it is to have some of Main Street there, and it's amazing to me the number of troops that I've already met that met me over there and have told me, like, you really lifted us, and it went on for several weeks after that. We were just over the moon with it. So
I guess the top guy for doing that was Bob Hope. All his
Bob was the man, and now it's Gary Sinise, and we're hopefully we're going to try to invite as many entertainers as we can to be here for the event as well.
That'll turn out the crowd.
I hope so. We hope so. Thank you for your service, sir, by the way.
Well, certainly the crowd will be there, and congratulations. It's a great program. I've seen your work over the number of years. Congratulations, and what better cause than the veterans? Being a veteran myself, I think it's a great one. So, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much for supporting and endorsing the event and giving us the opportunity to come out here and speak. Appreciate it.
I have a USO story before you leave. It's not Nancy. It's not Nancy. Yeah. Yeah, it's not Nancy Sinatra, but in the middle of nowhere, up in a fire base in the DMZ, in comes a helicopter, and out stepped Hugh O'Brien. Remember Wyatt Earp?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wyatt Earp got off the. There was just like a company size, dug in on a hillside, and he got up. And I don't remember if the helicopter took off and came back to pick him up. But anyway, he went from sort of hole to hole and talked to us and blew all our minds that there he was. And I think he had the 45, strapped to his leg.
Doing some twirls for you.
And off he went, but I'll never forget that. And he had actually been a combat vet either in Korea or World War II, I believe. But anyway, I can't remember what a big impression it made on us. It was like, we didn't particularly think anyone even knew we were in this location, but somebody must have remembered and brought this guy over. So, but you are right, Patrick, in terms of the USO and the work they do with families. It's more than just the entertainment component, which is important, but they do real nitty-gritty work with people in need and families in need. So I think it's a great tie-in to the Love Ride. And I can't say enough about the Love Ride. From our perspective, the kind of business that it brings to all of the restaurants and hotels. I've said it before. I go every year, and I've met people from Germany, from the Netherlands, from Spain, people from all over the world and all over the U.S. that come here for that event, stay in the hotels, and ride their motorcycles. Sometimes, of course, are renting motorcycles. But it's great for the local economy. It's great for the charities, all of the millions that have been raised. So it's just a wonderful event, and I'm looking forward to it. Why don't you give us a date so we'll know?
October 21st.
October 21st. Ms. Friedman.
Well, I agree. It's always a great event, and I'm glad that you're doing it for the USO this year. And thank you, Mr. Patrick, for coming. I'm a big fan of True Blood and of yours. I'm so glad you're going to be on True Blood this year.
Thank you.
I watch it every single Sunday.
Awesome.
I have just one small suggestion. You don't have to take it if you don't want to, but we have a patriotism committee here in the city, and they might be interested in offering you some logistical help or maybe just some promotion through their avenues. But you certainly tapping into a big desire in this city to do something for veterans. So
Yeah, that
I
sounds
commend
great.
you
We'll get
for
the
it.
contact info.
The staff will
better
give
time.
that to you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for taking the time.
Second.
Thank you.
Roll
you.
call.
All right, it was moved by?
I'm
Thank you. Council members: Friedman,
Yes.
Menuchyan,
Yes.
Yes,
Najarian,
Yes.
Weaver,
Aye.
You look like Menuchyan.
make sure you said yes.
Mayor
Yes,
Quintero.
yes.
All right, all ayes. Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
We are adjourned.
For the successor agency?
Need a motion and
So moved.
Second.
we are adjourned.
We're doing next.
Housing?
Do housing.
Okay. So the Housing Authority next? The regular